name is LoeyLane, and I'm so excited to tell you guys about my new podcast, Internet Urban Legends, with my BFF, Sinister.
We deep dive into the darkest corners of the internet to uncover whether some of the most notorious web myths are hoax or whether they're con. Internet Urban Legends, available exclusively on Spotify.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey. I have missed you guys so incredibly much, and there is a good reason that I have been away that I will explain later in this video. But essentially, I've been working on an absolute beast of a YouTube project that is going to fill out the rest of our summer here on my channel. See, I've really been taking a deep dive into the darker and more disturbing side of YouTube, and I've wound up stumbling down some serious rabbit holes of channels that I've never heard of before, videos that were viral a decade ago and seem to have just fizzled out due to time, but still hold up in terms of just what the heck was going on in this. That's actually how I stumbled across today's video. But before we get started, I want to quickly thank the sponsor of this video, Billy. Listen, body hair is something really personal, but for me personally, I shave pretty much my entire body. That's where our sponsor, Billy, comes in, because they have been one of my favorite new additions to my own grooming routine. I shaved my arms today using my Billy razor and their shaving gel, and you can see just how smooth and soft they are. Billy's razors are actually encased in charcoal, which is a great detoxifier for a clean shave every single time. The razors are really sharp. This one has 5 blades, which is my personal preference because I don't like to shave forever. And as you can see, there's no nicks, no cuts, no razor burn. You've never had a shave as smooth and silky as you will with Billy. Listen, it's summer. I'm wearing short sleeves. I'm wearing my shorts. I want to be able to shave and not have it take forever, but also not coat myself in scratches and have a razor burn. And my Billy razor really has been a great addition into my self-care routine. It's also nice not to have to go to the store anymore for my razors. It comes right to my door with free shipping. It's only $9 for the starter set, which comes with the razor handle as well as 2 blades and their amazing razor holder. I haven't put this one on my shower yet because I wanted to show you guys. Look at this. So it goes right on your shower and then it magnetizes so that like you're not constantly wondering, where did I put my razor? Why is it falling on the floor? Just a little boop and you're good. Use my link in the description box down below to get 10% off of your Billy starter kit. So you will get your razor handle and your 2 razor cartridges as well as the holder for 10% off as well as free shipping. The best shave of your life is only a click away. So once again, click the link down below to get 10% off as well as free shipping on your Billy starter kit. Thanks to Billy for sponsoring today's video, and let's get straight into today's story. So, like I said, I've been working on a beast of a YouTube project. It's essentially the disturbing YouTube iceberg, and if you aren't familiar with icebergs, they've been kind of popping up all over YouTube, and I think started out on Reddit as a way of sort of categorizing off a list. So, it starts off as an image of an iceberg. At the top of the iceberg is the most relevant kind of surface level information, things that almost everyone may or may not know about. But as you get deeper and deeper down the layers, it gets more obscure, in some cases more dark. In my attempt to explain the disturbing YouTube iceberg that I stumbled across on Reddit, which is going to be, as I said before, a multi-part video series that will take us the rest of the way through the summer. It is a beast to create, y'all. I spent, I think, upwards of 10 hours just doing the research for one out of what is going to be 4 different scripts. So 4 separate videos, all clocking in at like well over an hour each. I'm very excited, but I stumbled across this channel. The channel is called Nana825763. If you were to look up the channel right now, you wouldn't really find anything particularly disturbing, just Minecraft videos and actually sneak peeks into a horror game that this person is developing seemingly on their own. It's actually very cool stuff. The channel's content is primarily in Japanese, although most of the time English subtitles are offered. Now, the reason that I stumbled across this video was actually because of something that they made way back in like 2009 called Username 666, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. No, today we're here to talk about this poster's one video, My House Walkthrough, posted in 2016. Like I said, if you go right now, you'll see a lot of Minecraft videos, a lot of innocent sort of vlogs. But if you were to scroll back and back and back some more, you would find my house walkthrough. This clocks in at just about 12 minutes, and yes, I am making an entire video dedicated to this one piece of content on this channel. The Nana channel and my house walkthrough are one of the most fascinating rabbit holes I've ever stumbled down, and I'm so excited to go on this journey with all of you. So this video opens up and it is silent. We get kind of subtitles at the bottom of the screen, both in Japanese and in English. The person appears to have just been woken up out of a deep sleep. The sound of the wind woke me up in the middle of the night. A typhoon is in Japan, our poster says. This is my room. Now, as our poster goes on to explain, the tatami mats in this room are terribly damaged, and some of the art on the walls is covered in like layers of grime and debris. The house is a bit worse for wear, to say the absolute least. Some papers on the wall even look like stained with a red substance that one might assume is blood. So when they awake in this room and they're like, yeah, the wind woke me up, there's a typhoon in Japan, and they're showing us around the room, and it's looking a little bit worse for wear, it might surprise you when the poster goes on to say, tonight, I want to introduce my house. And this is where our journey into the house begins. At the beginning, we're really just catching small glimpses of the place, and the state of it is probably unthinkable to most. Paper doors are destroyed, dust and debris and grime, just stuff is everywhere. Our poster takes us through what he claims to be the longest hallway in his house, showcasing an altar for his ancestors, old photos from World War II, what just seem like family heirlooms and items that they have had for years. The house is in such a state of disrepair as the poster is showcasing all of this, and how anybody could live here is utterly beyond me. As our poster continues on with this tour, he states that the doll room on the right on this hallway was closed up by his grandfather. So the doll room has been closed up and we cannot go in. He showcases a photo of his mother from when she was a child. And when he turns left at the end of this hallway, we see a bathroom. Again, the bathroom is much worse for wear, not looking so great, definitely has seen better days. I hear a sutra, he comments. My grandfather is always listening to sutra on the radio. I had to Google this, but apparently this is religious text, and ultimately we don't hear anything as he continues on with this tour, so even though he claims to hear something, we just hear silence. There is no sutra, no radio, no nothing. And so, as he continues on with his tour, he tells us something that might seem somewhat familiar. This is the longest hallway in my house. But wait, haven't we already been in this hallway before? A typhoon is in Japan. This is my room, he adds. The tatami mats are terribly damaged. When he opens up the sliding door at the end of the hallway, we are back at the framed photo of his mother next to the photo from World War II. But this time, instead of panning to the right to the doll room, which has been closed up, we instead pan to the left. Now on the left is the dress room, and once again, we are told that this was closed up by his grandfather. Once again, we have restarted our tour. Our poster is on a continual loop as he gives us a tour of his house. A never-ending journey through and through and through. A neat gimmick, you might think to yourself, but certainly not interesting enough to warrant an entire explanation video on this simple house tour. And you would be right. this is far from all we have to see. Our tour, as it continues, and we start and stop in the same place over and over again before the cycle goes on, is filled with small details added to every consistent cycle of the house. For example, in this loop, we can see just how decayed the bathroom really and truly is. He pans just right to one of the rooms in the hallway to a point where we can see what looks like a head of hair or a wig mounted on the wall, but all too soon he breezes past and we are back on our tour. And yet suddenly, as the cycle begins again and we go through our sliding door, the dress room on the left is no longer boarded up. It's open. Poster allows us inside, showcasing many dresses of his grandmother, items that obviously were once loved dearly by someone who lived in this home. Our poster states, "My grandmother is not here. The holes eaten by insects have turned black like blood stains." Well, I think it's pretty obvious to us, of course, that the grandmother is not in this dilapidated home, but it is interesting to see a glimpse into the life that she led. We even get to see her mannequin, which is covered in pins and what looks like blood. It does not look like holes eaten by insects. As we leave the dress room, we can see that the doll room on the right is now open as well. There are many dolls left there for decades, as our poster says. And after these glimpses into something new, he once again states, "When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway." But this time as we begin our cycle, we can hear almost what sounds like a door slamming in the background. Now we get a glimpse into the Hina doll room. Now, Hina dolls are displayed on red carpeted covered platforms on March 3rd of every year. The dolls represent the emperor, empress, attendants, and their musicians, but our poster says himself these dolls are rotten. The empress doll is rotten too. And once again, we hear, "My grandmother is not here." We continue on with our tour of the home and things just get more and more dilapidated as you go through. I mean, little tiny changes that I had to watch 3 times in order to notice. That bloodied mannequin that we saw in the dress room now stands at the edge of the room, facing our poster in a somewhat menacing fashion as he walks through the hallways. That long head of black hair now hangs over the sliding door at the end of the hallway, and paintings and photographs on the wall are becoming more and more disfigured, eerie, and covered in layers and layers of what looks like age. It's like even though we saw the house so destroyed at the beginning of our video, somehow we're going through time faster and faster and watching as this house falls apart more and more. At long last, we get a glimpse into grandmother's room. This room has no taste, says our poster, as they pan around their grandmother's room. Aside from plain white walls, it appears as though there are black handprints and scratch marks near the ceiling here, perhaps pointing to something sinister happening in this room. Suddenly, from his grandmother's shoes, he shows a red and bloodied bed with what looks like a body beneath the sheets. "Grandmother is here," he says, before turning to her shelves, as though her body was not laying in a bed, as though her corpse was not rotting. Directly beside her poster, he just pans to her shelves to show us more things on our tour. A single lock of black hair hangs from beneath the books as he pans over more dolls, decayed from time and horrible weather. "My grandfather is not here," he adds, and a sinking feeling sets in that we probably will see this grandfather soon, as we now have seen the fate of our poster's grandmother. When we begin this loop again, we see a single black cord laying on the floor. Now the black hair comes out of like a photo frame. The photo inside is badly obscured now, and the house is becoming less and less likely to hide the secrets within its walls. Our poster returns to the bathroom in our cycle, showcasing that it's now coated in blood. A single baby doll lays in the sink. My grandfather is here. In the bathtub lay a body. The water turned red as though it is filled to the brim with blood. As he exits the bathroom and approaches the door at the end of the hallway, the door is covered in blood. I hear a sutra, he says again, and this time we do hear the sutra that he has been talking about this entire time, as we finally see what the house truly has become. It's coated red. Blood is splattered absolutely everywhere. This is the longest hallway in my house. The wind woke me up in the middle of the night. A typhoon is in Japan. The ceiling has rotten and fallen away. Things we've heard time and time and time again. No one has been in this room for a long time, he says before showing his own room where we started at the beginning. Now it is covered in decay and blood. And we see almost what looks like a body beneath the sheets. Sweet dreams. And the video comes to an end. If we were to look to the description box of this video, it reads, "My house walkthrough. This is not a horror video. This video was created simply by me filming inside my house." Listen, if I had stumbled across this video late at night and I'm just watching this guy walk through his house and suddenly we see the bodies of his grandparents, I would be pretty freaked out too. But of course, as you may or may not have already put together, this video is an art piece that was masterfully created by our poster, and I think bears really strong resemblances to one of my favorite pieces of horror of all time, PT Silent Hills, or the playable trailer of Silent Hills. In this very unfortunately now canceled project by horror giants Hideo Kojima as well as Guillermo del Toro, a playable trailer came out where you as the player walked through what you kind of assume to be your house. And with every cycle, you end up back in the garage and it starts again. And things in the house are not quite the way that you left them. As this video came out in 2016, I feel pretty confident saying it was probably inspired by PT Silent Hills. And our poster even gives us a glimpse into the making of My House Walkthrough, in which he showcases how he turned a very beautiful, normal looking Japanese house into something made out of nightmares, using a lot of creativity, DIY tricks, paper mache, paint. I mean, seriously, he had mannequins covered in paper mache as like the bodies in the beds, and somehow they look even more startling out of the dark. So the behind the scenes video is of course up now, and I'm going to ask you all a favor if you will please go over to this channel, to the My House Walkthrough, and give some serious support. And I will also link the behind the scenes if you want to see how everything was made in the description box down below. But this is one of the most effective pieces of horror that I've ever seen, period, let alone just on YouTube. No sound was needed. We never even had to have a jump scare in order to be scared out of our freaking minds for 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And there you are, my sweet friends. I hope you are sufficiently startled for the night and that you enjoyed My House Walkthrough. Once again, such an incredible piece of work that was very clearly created by someone who cared so much for this project, and I cannot emphasize to you enough that if you enjoyed this video, you should definitely go and give it a watch for yourself to support the original creator. And I'm really excited about this disturbing YouTube iceberg that I have been talking about. If you've been watching my streams, we've even been binging some content over there. The other day we watched Olive Salad Fingers for this disturbing YouTube iceberg because I never really watched it before. This has really helped to expose me to a ton of creepy stuff on the internet that I just wasn't aware of before. That video is something that has been taking a lot of my time and a lot of my energy, so I do appreciate you all being so patient while I've been away. For now, I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!